Okay, welcome everyone to my living room. My name is Gloria. I teach for Heat Yoga, and who knew we'd be here where we are at this moment in time, but here we are. I will do my best to instruct in a way that's very foreign to me, but I'm glad that at least I can do something and that we can be together in this community. This community is important and it's something we're all going to be missing. So the class I'm going to teach today, I was actually going to start teaching an Ashtanga series. And Ashtanga is a type of yoga that has a very laid out pattern of poses. So you repeat those poses every time you do the practice. I was trained in Ashtanga. Mindy Cisco did a workshop in Cedar Rapids. I've done several of her classes actually. And then I also went to India and practiced in Mysore, and I love Ashtanga. So those of you that have taken my classes, it's going to be very familiar because secretly I've kind of been teaching Ashtanga all along. But this class will be a little more specific in terms of following more rigidly. I don't want to say the word rigid, but you know what I mean. It'll be following the flow. The whole practice takes about an hour and 45 minutes. We're not going to get, obviously we can't do that in an hour class. So my plan is from one class to the next, we will be adding, subtracting to learn different poses and emphasizing different parts from time to time. So enough of me talking, let's practice yoga. So because we're all in different separate places and to come together, I don't have you muted yet, but I want to do a community, 3 community ohms to start our practice. So come to the top of your mat. I may not always be doing what I'm saying. So standing at the top of your mat, coming into Samasthiti, feet together, hands down by your side, press into the balls of your feet, lift your shoulders, bring them back. And we'll use movement with our ohms. So inhale your arms up, and nobody can see you, so just belt it out, everybody. Inhale. I can't hear you. Inhale. I don't know if I just can't hear you or you're. Good. So the practice starts with 5 Surya Namaskar A's. Did I just mute myself?
Yes.
Okay. I knew I'd screw this up. All right. Oh, I know where I do this. Manage participants. Mute. Yeah. Okay. Now, can you hear me? I think you can. Okay, coming to the tops of your mat, and I might be moving around on my mat and not being where I'm telling you to be. We're going to start with Surya Namaskar A. Normally, as I said, we do 5, but today we'll just do 3. So pressing to the tops of your feet, your palms facing forward, shoulders rolled back. Inhale, arms up. Hands come to prayer. Exhale, fold, chin to chest, soft knees. Coming into a forward fold, drop your crown down. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your shins, or your hands on your shins. Exhale, fold, crown down. Plant your hands, step back, high plank. So you can do high plank from your toes. You can also bring it to your knees to help develop strength. Roll your shoulders forward, come forward. Coming down, low plank. Inhale up, press into the tops of your feet. Roll over your toes. Press back, downward facing dog. So spend a moment in downward facing dog. We'll be doing 5 breaths. So inhaling and exhaling. 2. 3. 4. Everyone is in downward facing dog. 5. And then coming into forward fold, shoulders over your wrist. Either walk, step, or jump. Forward fold. Crown down. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull your shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Crown down, soft knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms down to your side. Surya Namaskar A again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to your shins, crown forward, shoulders roll back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back, high plank. From your toes or from your knees, shoulders pull forward, bend your elbows, halfway down. Tops of your feet on the mat. Inhale for upward facing dog. Curl over your toes, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking to the top of your mat. Frame your upper body. Step forward, jump forward into forward fold. Crown down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands under shins, crown forward, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands down to your side. Last Surya Namaskar A today. Inhale, arms up. You can look up, hands can be a prayer. Exhale, fold, chin to chest, soft knees. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Exhaling down, roll your shoulders forward. Inhale up, pull your shoulders back, press into the tops of your feet. And press back, downward facing dog. Settling into your dog here, press your knuckles into the mat. Maybe make your arms grow a little bit longer. Stretch through your arms. Feel that length all the way from your knuckles all the way up to your tailbone. Heels press down toward the mat. Knees can be straight or bent. 4, 5. Inhale, look forward. Come forward into your fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Exhale, stomp, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B starts with chair, Utkatasana. Hips come back, bend your knees. Inhale, arms up. Arms flank your ears here. We're going to hold this for just a few seconds to make some adjustments. Make sure that you're bringing your pubic bone up to your belly button. You'll feel your core engage when you do that, tailbone pushing down. The other thing is to lift your sternum to the ceiling. Hands can be apart or together in prayer. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, high plank to low. Inhale, up. Shoulders push back. Exhale, downward facing dog. For 1, 2, 3, 4. One more breath. Soften the muscles in your face. Look forward, come forward into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders pull back. Exhale, fold, drop your crown, bend your knees, hips back, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. Make those adjustments. Pubic bone lifts up to your belly button, chest lifts up, pressing into your feet. Inhale up, and then exhale, Samasthiti. One more Surya Namaskar B. Hips back, bend your knees. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, stepping back, high plank. Exhaling down to low. And press back, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Embracing here the calm. And breathing deeply, inhaling. Four. 5. Look to the top of your mat, forward into fold. Inhale, halfway. Shoulders pull back. Fold. Bend your knees, hips come back, arms sweep up, Utkatasana pose. Making your adjustments, pressing into your feet, inhale up. Exhale, hands come down to your side. Surya Namaskar B again. Hips back, bend your knees, inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, high plank, going through your vinyasa. High plank, shoulders pull forward. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Get to the top of your mat, come forward into fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, hips come back, Utkatasana. Press into your feet, inhale up. And exhale, hands down to your side. One last Surya Namaskar B. Hips back, bend your knees. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale to fold, chin to chest. Knees can be soft. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Shoulders come forward. Exhale low. Inhale up. Facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Four, 5. Looking forward, come forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep fold. Bend your knees, hips come back. Sweep your arms up for Utkatasana pose. Pressing into your feet. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hands come down to your side. Place your feet about hip width distance apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Your knees can be bent. You do not have to have straight legs here. Take your 2 These fingers, you're going to wrap them from the inside around your big toes. Inhale, look forward. And then exhale, crown down to the floor. Using your breath here. So inhale, pull up on your toes, but resist with your toes. Exhale, push your crown down, further down to the floor. So with each inhale, pulling up for your toes, resisting with your toes. Exhale, crown pushes down to the mat. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, pull. Exhale, crown down. Inhale, pull. Exhale, ground down. Ground down. Inhale, look forward. And then pick up your feet. Stay down. Pick up your feet. Place the palm of your hand under your foot. If you can see that. So you're bringing your toes right into the crease of your elbow. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your elbows. Knees can be bent. Pull your crown down. So again, with each inhale, you're pulling up on your feet, pushing down with your feet at the same time. So this is counterbalance going on. Exhale, crown pushes down. Inhale, pull. Exhale, crown pushes down. Inhale, pull. Crown down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward, stretch through your spine. Release your hands, bring your hands to your elbows, chin to your chest, and roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Come to here at the top of your mat. I'm moving around. I'm going to come from this side so you can see me. Take a big step back with your right foot on your mat. And if you do your left, I'll be opposite of what you're doing. So we'll do both sides anyway. If you have a block, if you use a block, you can place the block behind your left ankle. Straighten that left leg. We're coming into triangle pose. Trikonasana. Right hand on your hip. Open up. And then extend your arm to the ceiling. So you want to kind of have a big wide open space here between your shoulders. Think about your flying. And then coming into your breath. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling. Holding each pose for 5 breaths. This is one of the hallmarks of Ashtanga. Inhale. Or characteristics, I should say. Exhale. On your next inhale, slowly come up. Turn your toes in the other direction. Block this time. Behind your right foot, or if it's left, whatever you're at, doesn't matter. Right hand on the block. Press your calf into the block into your calf, or your arm into your block. And then open up. Straight legs. Both legs are straight. The arm extends, shoulders stack. Press your knees behind you. And breathe. 3 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bend into your right knee. And go ahead and release the pose. Turn your toes back in the other direction. So your left toe is in line with the perpendicular with the mat, horizontally. This time place the block on the inside of your foot. We're going to do revolved triangle here. So you might need a shorter stance. You want this right hip to be opposite of your left. So if you need to, you can hop that right foot forward, starting with Both hips opposite each other. Come down, plant your hand on the block. Stretch your crown forward first. Push your left hip back, right hip forward. Just square those hips. And then start to open up in the opposite direction. Coming into a twist here. Hand can stay on your hip. You can extend it up. But try and keep these hips nice and square, nice and even. 2 more breaths. 4, 5. Good. Slowly come up. Grab your block. Pivot to the other side. If you don't have a block, you can just place your hand wherever you're able to and still stay open through the chest. If you're coming way forward because you're touching the floor, you want to back off of that. So this time the block on the inside of your foot, hands on your hips. Bring your left hip square with your right. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold down. Plant your hand on the block. Inhale, stretch your crown forward. Exhale, open up into the twist. 1, 2. Keep pushing back with that right foot, forward with the left. 3, 4, 5. And then inhale, coming up. Pivoting your feet in the other direction. Extended side angle. Bending into your left knee. Here you might have a little wider stance. For me, that's kind of how it works. Triangle, I have a narrower stance. Extended side angle, I have a wider stance. Using the block goes behind your left ankle. And then opening up. Push your knees back behind you. Hand can stay on your waist. It could come up. It could also come up to your ear. Your arm, when you extend it into the full pose, which you certainly may do, is going to kind of pull you forward. So if you start to come forward, back off. Bring your hand back. For 4, 5. Inhale up. Turn your toes. Place the block on the other side. Hand on the block. Bend into that right knee. Left hand on your hip. Open up. Press your right calf into your right arm. Opening up. And then extend your hand. Option to hover over your ear. So what you're trying to do is make a really nice line between your fingertips, your left fingertips, all the way down to your left toes. One nice, really long diagonal line here. Inhale, coming up. Toes together. Pivot in the opposite direction. Bring your right knee down to the mat. I'll probably turn this pose around in a second. I said it's hard to. So no block required here. This is a revolved extended side angle. Hands to your heart. Inhale, lengthen. Make sure your knee is a little bit behind that hip. So if you need to adjust that, you don't want it directly under your hip. You can pad that knee if that bothers you. Hands come to your heart. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, place this right elbow on the inside of your left knee and open up. Coming into revolved extended side angle. You can stay here, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to twist, or you can curl your back toe and press up. lifting your right knee from the mat. So keep going. I'll just turn around for a minute to show it on the other side. And then come back up. And set up for the other side. So turning your right toes parallel with the mat. Left knee comes down. Hands to your heart. Make sure the knee is a little bit behind the hip. Let's push that right foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, twist. Left elbow, right thigh. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist. Feel free to push into that bottom toe and come all the way up. Otherwise, staying down, which there's many variations in every pose. So take the pose that works for you. And maybe one of the beauties in us doing yoga this way is you can be free to kind of not worry how you look to others. You all look beautiful to me. And then start to come up. So if your knee's off the mat, you can simply stand up. And then come up. Next, we're going to do forward folds. There's 4 of them. So feet are apart. The further apart your feet are, the easier it is to get your head down to the floor, which is the ultimate goal, more or less, but not necessary. So you can kind of work with the distance that works for you. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soft knees. Come on down. Plant your hands on the mat. They should be flat on the mat. If the forward fold is a tough one for you, you can always take blocks and bring the floor up just a little bit. That's always an option. 2 blocks would be better than 1, but 1 right here. Otherwise, knees can be totally bent. You do not have to have straight legs. Walk your hands back. Your arms are about hip-width distance apart. Elbows together. Inhale, look forward. And now exhale, fold. 5 breaths here. With each inhale, push your elbows together. Exhale, push your crown down. Inhale, elbows together. Exhale, push your crown down. Just stay down. You don't need to come up between. Inhale, elbows push together. Exhale, crown down. Try to get it down to the floor. Inhale, elbows together. Exhale, crown down. 1 more. Inhale. Inhale, look forward. Just look forward. Chin to chest, hands to waist. Roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, hands to your waist. Fold forward. Again, soft knees. This pose, you're just going to keep your hands on your hips all the time. Roll your shoulders back. So you're trying to push your shoulders towards each other. Drop your crown all the way down. Don't use any energy holding up your head. So dropping your crown down. Inhale. And exhale. So inhale, imagine pushing your knees apart as you inhale. As you exhale, a little bit of pressure into your big toe. Inhale, press those knees apart. Exhale, pushing into your big toes. 2 more. Inhale, knees press apart. Exhale, crown down. And then inhale, keep your chin to your chest, hands stay on your waist. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Good. Inhale, arms out. This time you're going to bring your fingers together behind your back. One thing you want to do is make sure your fingers are straight like this. If you don't have, if this doesn't work for you, when your hands are behind your back, I'll change positions here. You can always grab, which I don't have, of course, a little towel or something, and use the grip that way rather than your hands. So setting this up, roll your shoulders back, straighten your elbows, fingers push down to the floor, and then go ahead and fold forwards. Knees can be soft. So with each inhale, push your shoulders towards each other. Exhale, maybe bring those hands a little bit forward. Inhale. And exhale. So hands are trying to come forward to touch the floor. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. One vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms out. This time you're going to use your two face fingers, just like we did with our feet together at the beginning. Wrap them around your big toes. So inhale out. Exhale, fold forward. Grab those big toes. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, just enjoy this pose. Exhale, crown down. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. And then chin to chest, hands to waist. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Setting up for pyramid pose. Right toes parallel with your mat. Left foot is angled in about a 30-degree angle. Once again, square your hips. So I'm going to show you, this is the hips not squared. To square the hips, I might have to adjust that back leg. So make sure you start with squared hips. There's a lot of choices for arms, but today let's do grabbing opposite elbows. If you're very flexible and you have a reverse prayer, you can practice that. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, come down about 90 degrees. Inhale, push on your right foot, push that right hip back, left hip forward, and then go ahead and just drop your head to the mat. 5 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. 3. 4. 5. Inhale up, chin to chest, protect that lower back. Pivot your toes, you can keep your hands with opposite elbows. Once again, square your hips. Make sure this right hip comes so it's parallel with the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Let your head go. Don't use any energy holding that head up. 2 more breaths. 4. 5. And then inhale, slowly come up. 1 vertebra at a time. Square your toes, and then step to the top of the mat. I'm going to turn to face you, though. So a couple balancing poses. One is hand to foot toe pose. Today, we'll do the whole pose. It's a very difficult one, I think, but we'll do it. Maybe some of you already practiced Ashtanga, I don't know. So the full pose, and I'll go through it really quickly. You grab your big toe, you extend, you hold for 5 breaths, go out at 5 breaths, come back in, whoops, come back in, release and hold for 5 breaths. So the variations to get started on that, you might just simply start by bringing your knee up and holding that for 5 breaths, coming out for 5 breaths, back for 5 breaths, maybe extending your leg here or not, okay? So you choose. I won't get into real details. That is, as I continue to teach this class, we would kind of dissect this pose a little bit more. Let's just do what we can for now. So bringing your right knee up, holding here for 5 breaths. So I'm just going to cue here if you want to extend, if you want to grab that foot, that toe. The thing you want to do is keep your heart back, shoulders back, and then extend. So if you're coming forward like this, you're not quite ready. You could stop here. Make sure you're standing up straight and you're breathing. That's probably about 5 breaths. And then opening out to the side. So 1, 2, pressing into that standing leg. 3, 4, 5, coming back to center. Extend hands on your waist. I should have been there before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bend, and release. Other side. Again, find the point to where you can do the pose, where it's a little bit of a challenge, but not too much of a challenge. If you go over, you got to go on the journey, right? Step by step. So find the place that you need to be right now. Lift that left knee. Maybe extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back to center. Maybe extend here. 1. Foot can be flexed. It can also be pointed. Pointing is a little hard. 3, 4, 5. Bend your knee and release to the mat. The next pose is a lotus pose folding, but today we're going to kind of a gateway pose to that would be figure 4 pose. So that's what we'll do today. Bring your right knee up. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Hands to your heart. Now maybe start to sink in, bending that left knee. And breathing. And find your edge, that point where it's you start to feel some stretching, but you can still maintain the pose without falling down, etc. You can maybe even fold all the way down, touching the floor. On your next inhale, coming up. And exhale, release. Other side. Left knee comes up. Hands to your heart. Cross your ankle over your right knee. And then start to come down. 5 breaths here. Focus on your breath. Strike your pose. And then find your breath. On your next inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Come back to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, chin to chest. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to high plank. Pull your shoulders forward, pull through your hands, exhale halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat. Come forward into fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Hips come back, coming up into Utkatasana, chair pose. So this time we're going to hold chair for 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. So hands. I'm going to go further back for you to see my hands. Maybe you can never get it. But hands can be in prayer. That's a tough one. You can also keep them behind. Pubic bone comes up to meet your belly button. Sternum reaches up. So you're solid through that core. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, shoulders pull back. Exhale, plant your hands. High plank to low. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your right foot forward, low lunge. Inhale, come up. And hold here in warrior one. So for warrior one, you can have your heel up. Pretty hard, you need to keep your hips parallel. Eventually, you want to plant that left heel. Bring that left hip forward. Arms extend. Three, 4, 5. Bring your hands down. Pivot in the other direction. Setting up for Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1 on the other side. Bending into your knee. Inhale, arms up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening up into warrior 2. Bend into that front knee. Setting this up from the base up. Press your feet apart. Knees press back. Heart comes up. Open up. Look up the ceiling. Open up your chest. Leave it there. Palms facing down. Turn and gaze over that middle finger. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then come up. Setting up for warrior 2 on the other side. Bend into your right knee. Press your feet apart. Knees press behind you to open up through the hips. Tailbone back. Bring your pubic bone up to meet your belly button. Open up to the sky. Big, beautiful earth. Palms down. Turn your head for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale up. And from here, we're going to come into a seated series. So coming down to your mat, I'm going to face this way. Well, no, I'll do the other way. So coming down onto your mat to a seated position. First pose we're going to do is Dandasana or staff pose. So start by pressing your heels away from you, bring your toes forward. Bring your hands forward now so your palms are parallel with your shoulders. Pull your arms back, which opens up your chest, engages every part of your upper body. Then place your hands right down by your side, chin to chest, and then hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now we're going to do a seated forward fold. So you find we're now in the seated series, and in Ashtanga, a lot of the things you do standing, you also do seated. So this one, knees can be bent. You're going to do a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, bring your peace fingers once again around your big toes. Inhale, look forward. And then exhale, crown down, trying to bring your crown to your feet. So working on your internal organs here, pulling everything together, everything becomes tight. Press those toes away, but at the same time, pull the toes towards you. And then push the crown down to the feet. So inhale, pull. Exhale, crown pushes down. Inhale, pull. Exhale, crown down. Inhale, pull. Exhale, crown down. One more, inhale. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, release. We're going to do reverse tabletop, would be the entry position until you get a little bit stronger or your back is a little more open. And from there, you can do a reverse plank. So if you already do reverse plank, you know how to do it. You can do that in place of this pose. So your feet are bend your knees, feet are on the floor, got hip width distance apart. Bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing forward. Now, engage the upper body. So 3 steps here. Shoulders roll back, push them like you're trying to push them together. Lengthen through your elbows, push into your hands. And then you can stay here and just work on the strengthening there. Or option, lift your hips up, trying to bring them parallel with your knees and your shoulders. Head looks up to the ceiling, or you can let it go hanging back. 5 breaths. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, release. Bend your right knee. Bring your calf in. Right, the sole of your right foot goes onto your left thigh. So try and push that heel back towards your pubic bone. Getting rid of any space there may be. Left foot's stretched out. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, start to fold forward. Bring your belly button down to the heel. Eventually, you might reach for your foot and grab your foot, but all in good time. So trust the process. Know that as you continue to practice, you will get there. Or not. It's the journey, right? That's the destination. 4, 5. Inhale, look up. And release the right foot. Confession, my right foot was cramping. Bring your calf in. So, sole of your foot against your thigh. Press your knee down. You'll find your sides are different. One's going to be tighter than the other, I guarantee you. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, start to bring that belly button down to the thigh, reaching forward. Inhaling and exhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up. And exhale, release. Two seconds, checking the time. Okay. Bend your knees and bring them up. Hands forward and roll down onto the mat. Two options here. We're going to do legs up against the wall for 5 breaths, or if you're comfortable doing it, coming into a shoulder stand, so lifting your hips and pointing your toes straight toward the ceiling. Keep walking your hips forward, using your hands behind your back to support you. 3 more breaths. And then slowly coming down. If you're up, bend your knees, walk them back towards your hips. Feet hip width distance apart. Setting up for bridge pose. Inhale, press into your heels, lift your glutes. Take your hands, interlace your fingers underneath your hips. Pull your shoulders underneath. Bringing your hands forward towards your heels and breathing here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then slowly releasing. Come to a seated position, crossing your legs. If you have lotus, lotus has been a challenge for me. I like to tell the story. In 1969, I went to my first yoga class, and they said do lotus pose. That's the one where you bring your heels up in your hips. And I thought, I can't do that. And so I didn't practice yoga again until I was in my 60s. So anyway, lesson learned there. So go ahead, bring your hands to your heart. Bring your chins to your chest. Actually, we're going to do something different for today. Just remembered. I learned this gesture. It's called Vaikara. It's a mudra. So soft. It's a gesture for protection from the forces of nature. It is said to support our immune system and to help us discern between safe and potentially harmful environments. I think we all need that now. And to me, this is a very comforting mudra. So soft fist, bring your left hand to your chest and then your right. And then you can just soften your gaze or close your eyes and begin to follow your breath. So don't force anything, don't force breath here. Just breathing naturally. And as you focus more on breathing, let the muscles of your upper back relax. We're going to stay here for a few moments. If your mind starts to wander, knowing that the session's almost over, what are you going to do next? Who knows what comes into your mind? Notice it, accept it, and then return your focus to your breathing. And then release your right hand, release your left hand, and come down onto your backs, coming into Shavasana pose. Allow everything to soften. Softening, maybe working from the top up. Releasing your toes, your feet, the arches of your feet, your shins. Coming up into your thighs, letting that go. Moving into your upper body. Allowing everything to melt, to soften, to grow heavy. Noticing the contrast between your body and the earth that is supporting you and taking care of you at this moment, allowing you to rest. All the muscles in your face are relaxed, softening. Knowing that this place where you are in total relaxation and calm is available to you at any time that you need it. And now start to wiggle your toes. And wiggle your fingers. Left hand up above your head. Bend your right knee. Come over onto your left side into a fetal position. And then slowly using your hands to push you up. Coming up to a seated position. Easy pose. Hands to your heart. Thank you for coming today, for sharing with me in my first experience doing this. Made a few mistakes, but hey, we always get to do it again, right? I honor the kindness, the peace, the generosity, the patience, and the love that is within each and every one of you, as it is also within me. In this place, there are no differences among us. There's no distance between us. We are one. May all be well with mankind. May the leaders of the earth protect in every way by keeping to the right path. May there be goodness for those who know the earth to be sacred. May all the world be happy. Namaste. All right. Thank you guys for coming and helping me on this new journey. Like I said, who knew? I'll unmute you for, I'll stop the video. Oh, and I want to say, I messed up on the Surya Namaskar bees. I left out the warrior ones. I don't know. I do it every day, right? Nerves. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Love you. Be safe. Wait a minute. So how do I unmute you guys? Manage participants. All right. Meeting.